Puberty. Puberty is a period when sexual maturity begins to be attained and fertilization is assured. The time when puberty begins varies greatly among individuals. However, puberty usually occurs in girls between the ages of 10 and 14 and between the ages of 12 and 16 in boys. Puberty involves a series of physical changes that lead to attainment of fertility and the development of secondary sexual characteristics and rapid growth in both boys and girls. These changes are caused by hormones that are discharged into the body system. Hormones are chemical substances within the body and work in a specific area of the body. A part of the brain called the pituitary gland is very instrumental in the secreting of hormones. A hormone called gonad is secreted by the pituitary gland, and this hormone is directly discharged into the blood. In females, the target of the gonad stimulating hormone is the ovaries. It stimulates the ovaries to produce estrogen. This hormone stimulates the development of the female secondary sexual characteristics. The secondary sexual characteristics include the development of breasts, which occur at approximately 10 to 11 years old, growth of hairs in the pubic areas, followed by the growth of hair in the armpits, enlargement of hips, onset or beginning of menstruation, and eventually ovulation. So, ovulation occurs later after all the physical changes have taken place, usually 2.5 years after the onset of puberty. Puberty periods ranges from 8 to 14 years in girls. It is also influenced by diet, mental state of the individual, and the environment. The gonad stimulating hormone also has its target in the testes in the male. It stimulates the testes to produce a hormone called testosterone. The testosterone hormone is responsible for the body changes in boys. Testosterone hormone is responsible for the body changes in boys. Testosterone hormone stimulates the development of the male secondary sexual characteristics. These characteristics include increase in size of the testicles. This usually occurs about the age of 11 years old. Then the pubic hair begins to grow, followed by the growth of the hair in the armpits. The voice begins to break, which means it deepens and cracks. Then the broadening of the chest, and the boys become more muscular. The development of facial hairs is almost the last stage to appear. At this age, about 14 to 16 years, boys experience nocturnal emissions, commonly known as wet dreams. At this period of growth, the young boys and girls experience a lot of changes. For example, sweating. Sweating removes most of the waste in the body. The common waste is urea. This must be washed away. Bathing regularly is very important because it stops the accumulation of waste on the body. Bacteria feed on the waste. If bacteria accumulates on the body because of lack of regular bathing, bad smell is going to be experienced. The body odor also becomes repugnant. The private parts must be regularly washed at least twice a day. For girls, when experiencing menstruation, the private parts must be washed as frequently as the pads are changed. Washing prevents contraction of diseases such as Candida. Each time you take a bath, wash your knickers and put them in the sun to dry. The experience of wet dreams in boys and menstruation in girls makes them think they are mature. Therefore, they begin to practice sexual intercourse. Pregnancy might be a result of this. So boys and girls are advised not to engage themselves in sexual intercourse. The risk of pregnancy and contracting sexually transmitted diseases and infections becomes so high. Therefore, abstinence is the way to go. I'll bring this to a close by talking about the physical changes that take place in boys and girls at puberty. We'll start with boys. Skin gets oilier. Pimples begin to develop. The voice deepens. The shoulders gets wider. Hairs under armpits. Pubic hair begins to develop. Neck, chest, and leg muscles get bigger and stronger. The penis gets longer and wider, and testes get larger. The facial hairs develop as well. So now we'll move on and talk about the physical changes that take place in girls at puberty. The whole body gets cavier. The skin gets oilier. Pimples begin to develop. Breasts start to develop. Hairs under the armpit begin. Pubic hairs begin to grow. Hip bones widens. The weight and gain of hips begin to be experienced. Leg muscles get bigger and wider. The menstrual cycle also begins.